So the goal is to get to the point where you're doing transactions. My strategy has always been, I won't say always been, but we flipped houses. We will keep some cherry pick as rental property, but we will keep houses with eventually the goal came from, it creates income to save money. But now it's like, okay, the flips create money to buy apartments. And so now taking that money, rolling it over and buying bigger assets with the economy of scale that comes with apartments allows you to create more passive income faster. So if you can flip 4 houses, make $30,000 to $40,000 a house, now you can take $100,000 and put that as a down payment with buying like a $600,000 apartment building. Now you're playing the game at a whole nother level. Where when you start talking about the bonus depreciation, the tax write-offs, the passive income, and everything that comes with owning larger assets. But it starts with the first deal. I want everybody put in the chat a 1 because it starts with the first deal. That a lot of times, when you hear people speak, they talk about, their portfolio and everything that's built up over time. It can be daunting. For those that follow Grant Cardone, he talks about his thousands of units and everything. It's like, but you don't need all that. It depends on if you want to be, a private jet and you want to be jet setting and you got multiple houses on each coast, on the, overlooking the Atlantic, the Gulf Coast, the Pacific Ocean. That's fine, but you can be extremely successful and be financially free with owning 5 or 6 of the right rental properties that you done paid off over 7-10 years. Or building a larger portfolio and having some debt there to leverage, and or picking up 2 or 3 apartment buildings that's each paying you $5,000 in passive income a piece each month. And 10-15K of passive income is nothing to kind of turn your nose at. And so that's the biggest thing that I want everybody to know, that it starts with 1 deal and that is definitely doable with the right strategy. We talked a little bit about this already. You don't have to work until you're 65 years old, retire, then start living. And a lot of times that's what we get subscribed to. I know my parents, they did the best they could. They told me everything that they could tell me. And then they say, hey, go to school, you need to learn more. But what they didn't tell me was that when you get out here in life, you're gonna still continue to learn, and you're gonna learn more if you're smart and realize that you don't know everything. And so that was the thing with me, and I share my story, how even after graduating with an electrical engineering degree at the University of Alabama, I still had a low financial IQ. I still didn't know a lot about credit, didn't know a lot about real estate or investments or any of that stuff, because they didn't teach me that in school. They didn't teach me that K through 12 or at the university level. They just taught me how to be an engineer. They're like, yep, you're smart at math. We'll teach you how to go work for somebody and be an engineer for the military, and boom, and you'll be good. But there's a lot that was left out of there. And so we know today that there's a different way, because you all wouldn't be here today if you didn't realize that already, that there's a different way to doing it, a smarter way, where that the wealthy has been using for years and years in order to build wealth. Andrew Carnegie, who's very successful, said this quote here a long time ago, but I think it's definitely still relevant today. And this was kind of after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, after I bought my first house, that it just changed my mindset. And I went all in on knowing real estate was that vehicle to get me there. And to the point now where we have over 110 doors and have over $10 million in assets that we own right now. And we got a 20 unit as part of a package that we've been delayed for like 2.5 months now with closing. So hopefully we met with one of the attorneys this week. So hopefully we get that closed to add an additional 20 units to the portfolio down in Montgomery with some assets that we picked up, and that'll push us over to like 11.3 million in real estate owned. So, and I'll tell you, like over half of that came within like the last 14 months. So it can happen quick and fast, and it doesn't have to be a linear process, because once you get the information and you're one connection, you're one relationship away from going to the next level. It's amazing with just being able to meet one person. I'll tell you, like for like the last year, I've been working with a hedge private equity fund that funds all my deals, and they primarily look to fund veterans, and they move with speed. They love working with veterans, and they've been a godsend because we can go through, we're on the same page with underwriting, and they allow me to move with speed. I can make offers on multifamily, and I know I can close in a few weeks, and I know I can get a short-term loan, come in, do renovations, increase value, reduce expenses, and then refinance and add this portfolio to add this property to the portfolio in 12 months or less, or if you want to go out to 18 months. But being able to just have that relationship, and for you all as veterans, you guys, I'll definitely get you all plugged in on the veteran side with them lending, because they love to lend fix and flip funds to veterans. And then also, I spoke with a lender last night that's gonna come on in a couple of weeks, and he just blew my mind with everything that they do. That he has a fund behind him, but then he also has a line of credit that allows him to move really fast, and then he takes whatever loan he writes and underwrites, and then he sells it 2 or 3 weeks later. And so it allows him to be creative, tap into the line of credit, get you closed, and then they write off the loan and sell it to somebody else that buys the piece of paper, that buys the note, and then he just continues to roll it over. So he's based out of Annapolis. But great things, and like just relationships like that, and being able to call somebody up that you already talked to, they know your business plan, they know you as an individual, and say, hey, yep, just let me know you got the deal, we got the money, we got the check, and we're supporting your plan, and we're here to make sure that you're successful, that it can be a game changer for you and for your family.